which per se denies right to all the disabled people of insurance. Therefore, my first recommendation should be that this insurance should be given to all persons with disabilities, whatever, irrespective of their caste and all this. This is one aspect. The second aspect is that the UNCRPD says that wherever insurance is possible, it should be given to persons with disabilities in fair and reasonable manner. Since we do not have any data which says that due to the disability some loss has taken place, so I would say that all insurance agencies should be covered in this section on the basis of Article 9, that any private insurance agencies which are performing public functions should also be brought under the umbrella of this Act. So these are only two recommendations. One is that all agencies should be covered irrespective of private or government. Second, that all persons with disabilities should be given insurance, and it should be framed like no person shall be denied insurance on the ground of disability by any of the agencies which are providing insurance to public at large.
Insurance should not be linked with the private insurance.
What I want to say is that even in the section on insurance is to be provided to disabled employees. Now what happens when a disabled employee doesn't exist or does exist, but also there is disability in the family at large? So it's not just an employee, it's also families which need to be covered. Yeah.
Amma, can I make a... Please say, Section 23 is the same thing. It does say there should be comprehensive insurance scheme. Pick up the mic, man, we can't hear you. In Section 23 of this 2014 bill, in this Social Security, it does say that. I'll tell you what exactly it says. Use the mic. I'm using the mic, sir. It says comprehensive insurance scheme for persons with disability not covered under the employee state insurance scheme or any other statutory government-sponsored insurance schemes. It does say. But the point is, as Madam has pointed out, there are other existing insurance schemes. Say for Rajya Sabha, it says 5 in the family, but it doesn't very clearly. The family chooses not to include the person with disability. Doesn't get it. Rashtriya Advocacy has provisions for medicine, surgery, and all that, which is a separate scheme. It has to be included in existing insurance schemes. Also, as a point. The other is the unorganized sector also has a social security scheme, whereas the insurance is also there. It has to be mentioned that disabled people are also actually included in other existing schemes in a non-discriminatory manner. Means you have to pay more premium in general insurance if you are disabled. That should not be. There's no logic for it. There's no logic for it. Why should a disabled person pay more premium for general health conditions? These two points.
Actually, what I want to say is that there is no data in the insurance sector pertaining to disabled persons. So there should be a mandatory requirement inserted in the Act that all insurance schemes which want to discriminate in any manner, higher premiums, whatever, can only do so if they have the backing of this data. No. And I'm saying this for a very specific reason. The reason I'm saying this is because actually it's been our experience that disabled persons, accidental and other deaths are there, I'm not saying, but the percentage or the way the insurance sector perceives them don't exist. Actually, if this data comes into being, disabled persons will benefit hugely.
I think going down.
We have to comfort because he has to finish his presentation.
Yeah. So apart from what I just said, now this scheme, as somebody has already referred, so I will not touch it again, that it should be on equal basis with others without about premium and sum assured. That should always be equal. I'll not touch again. But the one important aspect which says that government shall by notification frame insurance schemes, that should be struck off, because if we say that by notification government shall frame scheme, again there is a possibility that separate schemes for persons with disabilities will be framed. So what we should say in general, that all insurance policy, that no person shall be denied any kind of insurance policy by any of the agencies, right? And that's all. Yeah, thank you.
That all existing insurance.
Existing, yeah.
What would it be?
Let me explain the practical problem in the insurance sector.
Just a minute. I was just trying to give you a formulation which I had prepared and submitted
Just for 1 minute.
on section 25. Kindly listen to that and then you add whatever you want to add.
Just 1 minute.
Yes, they
Because
will give it to me.
it was stated. It was stated that it is a scheme is formulated for the government employees. No scheme was being implemented in any department anywhere in entire India. People, the provision is being misplaced and it has been ignored and it was forgotten by the government. In Andhra Pradesh I made a representation to the government. The government has taken up a small exercise, but no private insurance company come forward, even including LIC, to cover this provision. So my request is, let this be made a compulsory on the part of LIC, which is a part of the government organization, to all the disabled, including employees and unemployed and illiterate, whoever. It shall be made compulsory to all the disabled instead of employees, and it shall be taken up only by the LIC, but not other than LIC, because no other insurance company is coming forward for its implementation.
No, this is, can I give you a formulation for discussion?
Okay.
Section 25. 1. No insurance company, whether private or public, shall refuse any insurance cover or policy on the ground of any disability, and also shall not charge any extra premium on the ground of disability, and also shall not refuse any benefit forming part of the given policy on the ground of disability.
The authority itself.
25.2. The appropriate government shall, by notification, in addition to the existing schemes, make insurance schemes for their employees with disabilities, preferably by Life Insurance Corporation. Okay.
It must be made compulsory on the part of the government. It must be made compulsory on the part of the government,
Is it?
or by the LIC.
Or, okay. Government employees के लिए ना केवल, not for employees with disabilities. Yes. Yeah, please.
Hello sir, this is Vindra from CDFO. Actually, right now, in the insurance company, for example, like LIC, they are saying that visually impaired or disabled should not be given policy directly. They should be given with the nominee name. Otherwise, we have to pay 300-400 extra premium amount every time because of the disability. they should be that should be taken care in this law. And secondly, even central government postal department introduced on postal insurance, both for rural and for employees also. In that both the things, they have clearly given order to their lower officials saying that disabled persons should not be given with the policy. So this is the thing right now with the government and non-government.
That is why, my friend, I am saying. You just heard what I am saying. No insurance company, whether private or public, shall refuse any insurance cover or policy. Insurance cover I have mentioned particularly with a specific purpose. So that it covers everything, every insurance thing or policy on the ground of any disability. And also shall not charge any extra premium on the ground of disability. And also shall not refuse any benefit forming part of the given policy or cover. On the ground of disability.
Because they are not giving up.
All these issues are taken care of if this formulation is endorsed by all of you.
Please. It is approved. And secondly, I want to make clear, they are not giving the insurance to any part of the body of the person. It's a life insurance, they are saying. That's why we have to mention that clearly.
Arjun sir, can I please interrupt? There's somebody not use the mango. And can we please make the comments really short because we are lagging behind on time?
In addition to your formulation, at the point where you say persons with disabilities, we need to including children with syndromes. Currently, all existing policy in their exemption list exempt children with syndromes. So which straight away means all your children with disabilities with any kind of syndrome, and that's the major part, MR, multiple disabilities, they cannot get insurance cover for their entire life, forget their childhoodness. So just insert children.
Okay, taken.
Thank you.
Point taken. Deepak?
Deepak had raised his hand before you. Can I just ask him to make a short point?
Madam, this whole concept of insurance, falls back behind the discipline called actuarial science. That says that, I just want Lumta sir to respond to this and throw a little more light into that. Because actuarial science says disability begets more disability. That's their premise. And their argument starts with like what you call seizure begets another seizure. So that way, will this particular formulation, sir, I'm just asking you to throw more light, will it stand the test of time? Because can't it be stopped? Because they might say, for instance, the students' loan, education loan, central government had formulated a fund especially to, in case of failure to comply with, and this fund was utilized to, rescue the organization. So these private organizations, these private insurances, will they not go to the court of law and don't they challenge this particular formula? Thank you, sir.
You see, if you ask me frankly, it's not only with insurance. When you talk of including private sector in any area, including accessibility, for instance, the same argument, same challenge can go to the court. And therefore, you see, as was pointed out by an earlier speaker, there is no data which also would testify their argument or support their argument.
Sir, that's where I come in, sir.
Yes.
With the publicationmedicine.com, there are mounting evidences in the medical fraternity area wherein they are proving again and again, saying that a disabled person, a person with head injury or epilepsy has more possibility of more predisposition to acquire more disability. When I wanted my chief doctor to come and testify before the court of law for Rajan for one of his cases in Asara, he refused to say, because he says he's backing on the medical evidences. There is a meta-analysis. I think the disability sector must go through the meta-analysis of different researchers say that a disabled person is more prone. And these actuarial sciences is also backing on that.
No, right. But it could be a ground, it could be an argument for supporting charging some additional premium. But it can't be an argument for refusing insurance. Let us take one by one. For refusing premium, it can't be, and it will never be accepted. Now, Pankaj has already dealt with similar case. Sir, please, Mr. Saab first. Then Pankaj. Mr. Saab, sir, please go ahead.
Which is Article 20, Section 23. It's all very good. Insurance should be so and so. Article 23. Insurance schemes are covered under Article 23. 3J.
Yes.
However, Dr. Saab, ladies and gentlemen, look at Article 23(1). I'll just read part of it. The appropriate government within the limit of economic capacity and development. And then Article 22(3) says the schemes under subsection 1. Under subsection 1 says within the limits of economic capacity and development. So all I'm suggesting here is that for all the social security measures to be really meaningful, the expression should within the limit of economic capacity and development should be suitably substituted or totally omitted. Thank you.
Right, sir. Point well taken, sir.
Should be omitted.
Next.
Excuse me, can I just say one thing? Pankaj wanted to say.
Pankaj, please go ahead.
See, so far as the children's science is concerned, it's primarily based on the premises. If you read their articles, they just say that on the basis of disability, they say that disability just aggravates. But to support their hypothesis, they have no data. If you read whatever you want to read. Apart from that, the data which you are talking about, the website, there is no such data which says that due to disability, some impairment, some accident has taken place or some death has taken place. There is only one data which is LIC. That also does not support this. LIC has that 1206 people have availed this policy. 19 have died without stating directly that those deaths took place due to disability. So what Mr. Unta is saying that we can bring both public as well as private sectors within the purview of insurance company. I do not think that the argument of actual science or argument of the private parties will sustain in the eyes of law.
I want to respond to this comment that came on seizures. And what I want to say is that perhaps you may be right, perhaps there is some data which is building up, but we do have to understand that per se, that's a medical condition which is no different from heart disease or hypertension or diabetes or anything else, which also raises your insurance premium. So if we are going to look at equitable insurance, we have to be equitable also. The issue is that taking away from this aspect, if we come down to the fact that when we look at insurance, how much, whether it's medical treatment out of the ordinary or deaths or accidents, how many of those have been caused by disability, like Pankaj said, there is no data. And actuarial sciences cannot be based on hypothesis, they have to be based on hard facts and data. That's what they collate. They look at life expectancy, etc., etc., etc. That's how they come to their conclusions on what premium to charge, how they will organize the insurance policies, and so on and so forth.
So what are you suggesting?
See,
are you saying that extra premium should be allowed?
No.
No, because I am not very clear from your intervention.
No, I'm not suggesting that extra premium should be charged. My point is that if there is a medical condition which leads to a certain X result, that has to be categorized in terms of other medical conditions such as which we perceive to be in the non-disabled sector. If they have to charge extra premium on the grounds of disability, they cannot do so.
Well, actually,
we are dealing with the charging of extra premium on the ground of disability. We are concerned here only on that ground. And supposing I am a blind person. I have hypertension. So if hypertension has certain things to do with respect to charging of premium, in spite of my being blind, let them charge me on hypertension if it is that they are corrected. But if they start charging again on the ground of my blindness, hypertension plus blindness, so that is not acceptable.
Okay, one last question.
I just would like to
one last question.
Just one suggestion. Actually, I've been connected with the insurance sector since the past 2 years, and being in the disability sector also, I have myself put in my suggestions to them. And basically, they have told me that now the first thing is that we have to approach the IRDA, that is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, which deals with insurance. Now, all the insurance companies are under IRDA, and whether it's LIC, Max Life, any insurance, HDFC, anything, they are all under IRDA. Nobody is private or government. Now everything is under IRDA. So basically, we have to bring in the IRDA to know all this, and the IRDA decides everything. So we have to approach the IRDA for all this. Now basically with insurance, when I put my suggestions on my own regarding disabilities, because they have been so much interested in people getting insured, but they are not interested in disabled people, or even if a person smokes or consumes alcohol, the percentage of premium is higher. Now besides that, disabilities is totally, even if the child has disabilities, it is said in insurance sector, the proposer can be the father or mother, and hence the child can get the facility, but otherwise there is no specific facility for disabled, which is very important, and that has to be included. But because every other illness like hypertension, diabetes, etc. has a high premium, I don't know whether they would consider disabilities without premium higher premium.
We really have to close this session now.
Yeah?
One last.
We have to close this session now because it's 1:30. Lunch was to be served at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, thank you, Rajiv.
Can we carry this for the next lunch?
No, I think we have finished.
I think we close this session now. Just one we are closing it now.
Close this session now.
Very important.
Yeah, we take it after lunch.
No, we can take it later.
We can take it post lunch.
Okay.
And we